What's up, everybody? This is James and Raymond back with Real Country Jukebox. We're at the round of Sweet 16. We've been doing our March Madness version of the greatest country song of these 4 decades, and we are at the Sweet 16, so we're going to count them down and pick some winners.
Yep. First one from the 70s, we have Hello Darling by Conway Twitty going up against The Devil Went Down to Georgia by Charlie Daniels. I had The Devil Went Down to Georgia.
And I had Hello Darling.
I had a feeling that was going to happen.
I think one thing that trumps me on Hello Darling, and it is certainly extremely arguable. I think one thing that trumps me on Hello Darling is Devil Went Down to Georgia is a fantastic story. But I think it's just the fact that Conway Twitty, 75% of his song shows off his vocal ability. But I think in Hello Darling, he really does that. And I think one thing that Hello Darling has over that song, maybe not a better story, but I think just the fact that he's singing it and Charlie's pretty much, not that Charlie can't sing, but Charlie's pretty much telling a story versus a guy singing his heart out. So,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, my deal with this is, first of all, they're polar opposites. Like, nothing
Sure.
about the two is comparable.
Yeah.
As it's just about all Charlie Daniels songs, you've got a ton of fiddle in there. And it is
Which is awesome.
It is kind of Southern Rocky, so that leads to be more, I think, traditional sounding country. Hello Darling would take the cake. I definitely think The Devil Went Down to Georgia is a better song because of the story, and but at the same time, it doesn't hurt for me to go on record and say I've never been a big fan of Hello Darling. But I do like Conway Twitty, and I do like his tight fitting jeans. Don't call him a cowboy. That's my job. I mean, he's got a ton of great country songs. I just never care for Hello Darling. I think that's clouded my judgment a little bit. So I think though traditional country, I think Hello Darling could take that.
Okay.
All right. And I'm willing to go that route.
Okay. Hello Darling takes the first win. First one in the Elite Eight.
All right, next we have, and this was so hard for me. I started out with a question mark.
This is probably the toughest one.
This was the toughest one. And this is arguably two of the greatest songs on this whole thing. The Gambler by Kenny Rogers up against Coward of the County by Kenny Rogers. And this is like two of the best teams that go against each other too early. You know one of them's got to lose.
And legitimately probably Kenny Rogers' best 2 songs.
Yep. They are my 2 favorite songs by
Mine
Kenny
too.
Rogers. Well, I ended up going with Coward of the County.
Okay. And I was leaning on The Gambler. I think I like Coward of the County better. And I was leaning on The Gambler, I think, just because they both turned into movies, but The Gambler turned into like 3 or 4 different movies. But man, I'm with you. That opening line where you could hear a pin drop when Tommy stopped and locked the door and everything changed in his life, Coward of the County.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Coward of the County.
Well, the thing is, man, when I first, off the top of my head, I was like, man, that's flip a coin. I said, but I got to go with The Gambler because of the life lesson from it.
Mm-hmm.
But then I listened to both of them. And I actually listened to Coward of the County first. And man, both of them have such great advice just in life in general.
Yeah.
And both of them should actually go Final Four easily. But since one of them has to lose,
I agree, and I'll say that while we're here. A lot of times matchups change things, just like in basketball. And I would take these 2 songs over those 2 songs.
Same.
So it's just the way they matched up.
yeah. Well,
I think what you were saying.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that makes it good, though. And I also think that, to me, man, just that, with the, I feel like there's a lot of people that relate to Coward of the County as far as, you just want to see that guy get his revenge. So I got Coward of the County.
Yeah. A good buddy of ours, Alan, he was asking today who was going to win that matchup. Thanks for listening, Alan. And it was a tough one. But, Coward of the County is the winner.
Yep. Next we have, for the 80s, we got A Country Boy Can't Survive by Hank Williams Jr. and Poncho and Lefty by Merle and Willie.
I know this was tough for you.
It was, and I relate a whole lot more to A Country Boy Can't Survive, and Hank Williams Jr. to me is better than both of those 2 guys combined, but I went with Poncho and Lefty.
And I'm on the middle. I could go either way. So if you say Poncho and Lefty, I'm going to roll with it.
Yeah, just the storyline and
the 3 verses. We talked about that before.
Yeah, I feel like it's a slightly better song. Next we have Amarillo by Morning by George Strait and Forever and Ever Amen by Randy Travis. And I went with Amarillo by Morning by George Strait.
I did too.
Really?
We're on the same page there. Absolutely.
Okay.
Cowboy songs don't get enough credit. This one has to win.
Yeah. 90s. We got the Alan Jackson decade, apparently. So
Yeah.
we've got Chattahoochee and Living on Love. And I went with Living on Love.
I did too.
Really?
And it was tough because I kept thinking the first thing you think of 99% of 100 people when you think of Alan Jackson's Chattahoochee and the water skiing, but Living on Love is just it's that song. That's how you want your life to be.
Yeah.
That is that song. So
Next we have Sunday and The Fool. Sunday by Alan Jackson, The Fool by Leanne Womack. And of course I went with Sunday because I've been riding that train the whole time.
and I'm so on the fence with that one. And I'm still on the fence. I think that type of song, you can't make an argument for one that you can't also make for the other.
Yeah.
Um,
And they're both kind of, not really themed the same, but they're both along the same line of,
Yeah.
you know.
they're both what brought country music to the dance. It's just, if I had to pick one, I'd say The Fool, but
Okay.
I can go either way on this.
Well, you know, every tournament has its big upset. And since I said the very first round of the tournament, I said that was the greatest country song ever. I mean, I wouldn't want people to finish watching this whole thing knowing that was going to win. So let's give it to The Fool.
Okay, The Fool wins.
2000s. Three Wooden Crosses by Randy Travis and Drive by Alan Jackson. And I went with Three Wooden Crosses.
And I actually went with Drive.
Really?
God, that's so tough. You
Yeah.
can't get a better message than Three Wooden Crosses. But with Drive, you know, the tribute to his dad, then the tribute to his kids, passing on the things he learned in life to his kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you call it.
Well, I tell you why I chose Drive over Three Wooden Crosses. I would rather listen to Drive more often than Three Wooden Crosses.
Mhm.
But I chose it because, and this is a compliment to Alan Jackson, but if I went off of the stuff that he wrote about his life and his family, then most of this board would be Alan Jackson.
This is
songs.
true. That's very
I
true.
mean, and this ain't no slight to nobody else up here, but if somebody said put the 64 great favorite country songs ever, most of it would be Alan Jackson. So I was like,
Agreed.
I'm cutting them and giving it to Three Wooden Crosses.
All right, Three Wooden Crosses.
And another thing too, I didn't know what you had there, but I was already cutting Randy Travis out. And not saying that he should keep being up here if he don't deserve it, but that song is technically just as good as that one, just like that one is just as good as that one. So,
Sure.
Okay, so we're going to get Three Wooden Crosses.
Three Wooden Crosses wins.
Okay. And last we have In Color by Jamie Johnson and Where Were You The World Stopped Turning by Alan Jackson.
Two monster songs.
Yeah. Yep. And man, I kind of I went with In Color, but there's a reason why.
Okay.
So,
Let's hear that.
well, this is my thing about songs that go for Christianity or America, two things I love very much. I mean, technically, I wouldn't want to go against either one of those, like Three Wooden Crosses or Where Were You When the World Stops Turning. But I went with In Color just because, I mean, if you went like that, then eventually you would have to cross out a American song. Like we crossed out Curse of the Red, White, and Blue.
Right.
A fantastic song to put
Right.
that one there. So I mean, eventually you're going to have to cross them out at some point.
Yeah.
That's why I went with In Color, but it don't have to be. I just, I was just thinking if we went like that, it would come down to Three Wooden Crosses and Where Were You, World Stops Turning, and songs that were country related, guy related, stuff like that. So that's why I crossed it out.
Let's give it Dan Color.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's give it Dan Color.
All right. Well, we're trying not to have these two listed. It's kind of getting to the point now where we've said a lot that we had to say about the songs in the very first round, the one that was 30 minutes long. So, but where we're at now, it's going to be interesting coming into the Elite Eight
Yeah,
next week.
totally.
So, and we're actually doing the 8, 4, and the championship all the next round, right?
Right.
Okay. So we're gonna have to kind of think on a whim then,
Yeah.
because we're gonna have to see who won and then make the decision right off the top of our head.
Right.
So, which we kind of been doing anyway. This hasn't required a whole lot of thought because all the songs are so good.
Yeah.
So,
And a lot of it's kind of like you heard it with us talking. You could tell it. A lot of it was we weren't even really sure. We're kind of going back and forth and discussing it, and it's almost like March Madness. Every one of those teams is there for a reason, just like every one of these songs is there for a reason, and somebody's got to edge out somebody.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes it so interesting. I mean, like those two right there. That's two of your best basketball teams ever.
They
going
just
up
got
against
matched
each
up
other.
against each
Yeah.
other early. Yeah.
Yep. So, but anyway, well, that's all I've got for today.
Thank y'all for listening. We're having a good time with this.
Yeah. See y'all later.